With Val and Seal. It's story time to chill with Val and Seal. It's story time to chill with Val and Seal. It's story time and chill with Val and Seal.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Storytime Chill with Val and Seal. I am one of your author hosts, Miss Cecilia Seal Smith.
Oh, and I'm your other sister author, Valerie Johnson Reed.
And today we bring to you an astounding author all the way from Vegas. You'll get to know her story later, Miss Sharice Williams. Hey,
Hello.
Sharice.
Hello.
All the way
Hi,
from
guys.
Houston
Thank you
to
so much.
Vegas. Yes. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, Sharice, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you guys just said, I'm currently in Las Vegas. I am a licensed Nevada teacher here, pre-K through second. So I love education. I have 2 kids. I have a 1-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. I am married to an amazing man that plays professional basketball overseas. And I am so excited to be here to read my book to you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy it and like it and everything. So
Well, we are just as excited as you are for you to be here, Sharice. So, because we know our audience is going to love the story. So, without further delay, Sharice Williams, take it away.
All right. Here it goes. My second self-published book, Penny D's First Basketball Game. Now, this book is dedicated to my son, Pendarvis Lafayette Akeem Williams II. And Penny D is many kids around the world seemingly discouraged and unwilling to work hard for what he wants to do. But with a little time and attention, motivation, and encouragement, he just might make the basketball team. Okay. It's Sunday, and Penny D does only one thing on Sundays: watch basketball. The boy even makes sure to finish all of his homework early on Saturday so he can watch basketball on Sunday with his dad. Penny D is so locked in, he remembers all the moves in detail. The dunking is his favorite. Excited from all the action, after the basketball game, Penny D goes into the garage and fishes out his old basketball from his storage bin. He goes out to his backyard. There we go. He goes out to his backyard and starts to dribble. Dad hears him bouncing the ball and goes out to play too. But in that moment, Penny D tries to dribble between his legs. The ball hits his foot and rolls for the 3rd time in a row. Penny D gets upset and throws the ball away and heads back inside. Hey, what's wrong? Let's play, Dad says. What's the point? I'll never be good enough, Penny D says. I even thought I could make the basketball team at school. I don't know what I was thinking. He shakes his head. Penny D, you haven't held a ball in your hand in so long, and the first thing you did was try a between the leg dribble. If you're going to learn how to play basketball, you have to start from the basics and the fundamentals and work your way up. I know it looks easy when you see professionals on TV, but those guys have years and years of practice. To becoming so great. Penny D, you have to learn how to crawl before you walk. and walk before you can run. Start with the fundamentals. This is the beginning. Let's go. There we go. No. Dad takes the ball and they start with the simple drills. Passing, dribbling in place with one hand and then with the other. While they practice, Dad says, "Is the team already set at the school?" Penny D replies, "No, tryouts are in 3 weeks." "Yeah, that's great," Dad says. "Do you think I can make the team?" Penny D asks. "The question is, Penny D, do you think you can? If you work hard and believe in yourself, there will be no doubt. I know you can," Dad says. "But we don't even have a hoop, Dad." His dad gives him a smile and says, "You just focus on the fundamentals and keep practicing. You have a little ways to go before you start shooting." After that, Penny D bounces his ball and practices all the basic basketball moves every day for hours and hours. He goes out on the sidewalk and all he does is the same drills, dribbling with his right hand and his left hand. He goes up and down the blocks 10 times. Then does crossover moves from his left hand to his right hand and does the same 10 times up and down the block. By the end of the first week, Penny D is dribbling and handling the ball with confidence. He starts to dribble without looking and even learns a few new crossover and spin moves. And one day, as he does his routine, Penny D sees his dad coming in his truck with a basketball in the back. "Now we can get to shooting," Dad says with a smile through the window. Penny D and his dad set up the hoop in front of their garage and starts to shoot. Dad gives him advice and tells him how to shoot properly. After one game, Dad goes inside and leaves Penny D alone to practice his shots until it's dark. Now that Penny D has everything he needs, for the next 2 weeks, all he does is practice playing basketball. One day, his dad sees him scoring from far away as possible. He says, "Dad, remember one word, Penny D, fundamentals. I know everybody wants to shoot 3-pointers and dunk, but those will come later. At the tryouts, they will want to see how hard you try, how determined you are. And that's just dribbling and layups. If you get those 2 down, you'll make the team for sure. Undestructive, you should never lose the ball or miss a layup. That's your goal." "Got it, Dad," Penny D says as he goes for a layup. "That's it. Dribble, catch, 2 steps, off the board, bucket. When you make 9 out of 10, we can play one-on-one," Dad says. "You're on," Penny D shouts with a smile and starts to practice layups. The first day, he only gets 2 out of 10, but he is quickly learning. With every day, the numbers go up and up. When late one night, he makes 8. He goes inside out of breath and thirsty for water when Dad asks, "How many today?" 8. Penny D points at him and says, "You're going down." "Ooh, I'm scared," Dad jokes. The very next day, Penny D makes all 10 out of 10. The tryouts are just a few days away, and it's a perfect time to start training one-on-one. All the way to tryouts, Penny D starts playing with Dad every day, giving him dribbling tips, teaching him how to evade blocks. The day is finally here. The weeks have passed, and tryouts are here. There are dozens of kids that want to play on the basketball team. But with all the work Penny D put in, he wants it the most. The coaches make the kids do all different drills to see the players' ball handling, shooting, and layup skills. Penny D excels at each one as the coach weeds out more than half of the kids. to the end of tryouts and making their final decision. The coaches divided the players into 2 teams and they play a full basketball game. Penny D knows it's his time to shine. Penny D keeps it simple. He doesn't try any fancy dribbling moves or shooting threes. The other kids often make simple mistakes and got some violations, but Penny D can do it with his eyes closed. At halftime, Penny D already has 15 points. But then something happens that he didn't see coming. The coach barely put him in the second half. Penny D starts to get scared. If he doesn't play, he can't prove himself. So just as the game is about to end, Penny D says to the coach, "Can I get 1 more minute, coach? I know I can do better." Coach gives him a smile and says, "You did enough, son. You were locked in the first quarter, but we gave you the second so you could have a little fun. Now we only put players in that we're not sure of." "Did you do well?" Dad asks him. "Dad, you came," Penny D says excitedly. "Of course, but I didn't get to see you play too much. How were you in the first half?" "You'll find out now," Penny D says as the coach starts to read the list. Penny D's name comes up first, and his dad gives him a big hug. "If you learn how to play basketball in 3 weeks, you can really do anything," Dad tells him. "Now let's go get some pizza." And here is Penny D's basketball checklist skills and his practice. The end. Thank you, guys.
Yay! I feel like singing that Bow Wow. We're playing basketball.
Oh,
I
wow.
loved it.
That's amazing. Yes,
Thank you
you
so
for
much. I
sharing.
got a little tongue twisted over there.
Hey,
I was like,
it's
okay.
okay.
It's
Educators,
wonderful.
we've been talking all day
Day.
long. Authors,
Oh,
Yes.
this is what we do. So you did a wonderful job. Amazing.
sure
Thank
did.
you so much. Thank you
sure
guys
did.
so much.
So, Sharice, tell us, where did the title Penny D's first basketball game? Why Penny D? What is it about that name? There has to be
Well,
something.
it is. So Penny is my son. His name is Pendarvis. We call him Penny for short. His dad is Big Penny. And my father, he's very inspirational to me and a lot of things that I do. He always says, "Penny D, come here, Penny D." And they used to say, "Little Penny D." And I said, "Gosh, that has a good ring to it." Little Penny D. So my nieces and everybody else says, "Little Penny D." I'm making a book called Little Penny D. So I gave a series, Penny D series, and
Okay.
Love it.
I just think it just reflects my son and just things that I want to tell him when he does start to get in extracurricular activities. So it's super, super, that's where Penny D came from. So I was super excited when I kept hearing Little Penny D.
That's right.
You're gonna hear that.
Love it.
Thank you.
you. Love it, love it, love it. So now we're all educators here, and we have boys and girls and parents watching. And by us teaching, most of us teach language arts. We know that a big part of when they're reading is knowing what message or what theme the author is trying to convey. What message or theme is this story? What do you want the readers to learn from this story?
So if the message that I'm getting behind it is so deep when it comes to today's society of what's going on and all that's going on in our community and African American males and their fathers and their sons. Just my message is for the father to be involved into that child or that son's life, to be able to motivate them, to be able to encourage them, to make sure that they understand that I believe in you and I'm here for you if you need anything. In my book, you see, if his dad never came and talked to him and said, "Well, you have to crawl before you walk, or you have to start from the basics." Well, if he came in, "Dad, what's the point? I can't do it." well, you just need to keep trying. You know,
Right.
it would have just shot his motivation and his confidence level down. So my message behind it is just to continue to build up and uplift our kids in general, not just males, but our females as well, to, you know, just keep that positive impact for them, to believe in themselves and stay confident. And no matter what they do or what they would like to do, whether it's extracurricular activities, education, music, art, whatever it is, just believe in them and push them and encourage them that they can do it. They have to just work hard and believe that they can do it. So
And
that's
that,
my message
I
behind
love that.
I do
Sure. The
too.
thing is, and I know Val hit themes. Like themes we do use in English language arts all the time as educators, but themes are seen all around us. In
Mm-hmm.
movies, you can see a
Mm-hmm.
overlying message. Like what is the message or that you take away, or the lesson that
Mm-hmm.
is learned, and that uplifting is so important. It's not just about a Penny D's game. It can be applied to anything, uplifting people, because that self-doubt that Penny had during that moment where he experienced that initial failure, he could have
Yep.
gave up. And if no one was
That's
around,
right.
whether it's father, mentor, or anyone was around and be like, hey, pick your head up, like you got this, you just got to start
Mm-hmm.
small, baby steps, and like you said, crawl before you walk. So it's not just, themes are universal. You can apply
Mm-hmm.
those gems and those lessons to anything, anyone in life. So I love that, Sharice.
Thank you. Most importantly, never giving up. Like that's a thing that we intend to do. If it gets too hard, if it gets too stressful, we step back and we say, it's too hard. It's okay. You go through those to learn and develop and to grow, to become even more greater. So never give up and just keep on going no matter what. So that's every book that I write, every story is a story that it relates to that the age group in the elementary, middle school, high school, because those are those formative years to help them to those are our future. They're the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're our future. So
Yes.
if one of us as educators make a difference, I always say, one child that crosses my paths, I want to make sure that they can take something from me, and that is to be beyond great in any and everything that they do, whether it's basketball, sports, or education. I believe in you and I know you're going to be great. So yes.
That's right. Love it. Thank you so much for the positive message. And especially in the day and times we're living in now, we need to hear as much encouragement, as much hope as possible. So thank you for that. So let me ask you another question. Who was or who is your favorite author?
Ooh, so let me think.
It could be childhood.
So I
It
know
could be
you know
currently.
I read Clifford every single night. I have every Clifford book,
Okay.
and I said, okay, this may be my favorite author now. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just it's there's so many amazing authors though, and um I just know like certain authors stick out more to me. So I have
Right.
been reading Clifford's book, and I feel like that's what I'm gearing towards right now.
Okay. That's fine too. That's fine.
Absolutely.
So one of the things you said is that the inspiration was your son for writing the book, and your husband is your son's dad. Um, but who inspired you to write? Because I think about myself, and I think about when I first started, began the love for writing. But who inspired you to start writing?
So, just as an educator, as an athlete, as a coach, um, when I coach, when I taught, I just always wish there was another way to reach me. Everybody are,
Mhm.
you know, they retain information and different motivation in different ways. And
That's right.
I literally, when I moved overseas, I had time to sit and finish my dream of what I started. One day, I want to write a book, a children's book, where it can teach the child how to do it from home, and it can motivate the child from home. And I literally sat there and I just started typing and started, you know, formatting, and then, you know, so I inspired myself to, you know, based off of my life and the things that I went through and what I wish I had at a young age. So
Mhm.
Oof.
that's what definitely inspired me to write children's books. And even if it touches one person, that's a goal for me. You know what I mean? So I just always
Absolutely.
said I wish I had a book at this age to motivate and encourage me and push me if, I was unable to do it there. Okay. So
Absolutely. The funny thing though, like even Sharice, I said this before in an interview a while back. I never saw myself as a children's book writer, and that's the crazy
I
thing.
didn't either.
That was not my target audience. Even as an educator, even as a mom, that was not my target audience. I knew that I wanted to be a writer, but I did not think children's. But then I saw a need, and I'm like, if you don't do this, then who will? Like
right,
these
right.
children, they
That's right.
need it's missing something. Like you got to do this, Sil. Like you got to do this. So I
Mhm.
love how you said that you examined what you didn't have growing up, what you needed, and you said, okay, I'm going to write this book. Because that's usually how
That's
these
right.
passions form. Like there was a
Mhm.
lack of something. Okay, now I need to feel that. I need to make sure other
Yeah.
people don't feel what we were
But
feeling. You know?
and
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
know, like, for me, when I started, it's as a self-publisher and not having the resources to be able to do this on my own. I literally, and I stuck with my mind. I did a lot of research to make a dream reality and to bring it, to life versus me just sitting it in my Microsoft Word desktop. And I know, like, one thing I want to just say to whoever is watching, like, if you have that dream or that drive to write a book or write a story, everybody has a story. You can make it happen. I did. And I'm super spiritual, and I'm super thankful, and I know that God led me in a place where how I could figure out how to self-publish this book and how to connect with other things in the publishing world and author world, and it's possible. So I just don't I want to inspire others that you can do it too. If we did it and we made it happen, it's possible. And I'm a firm testimony, like, it's possible that it can happen even when there's no way. If it's meant for it to happen, it's gonna happen. So I do want to definitely put that out there as well. So
And you by you saying that, you just answered my next question. My next question was, what advice would you give an aspiring author, whether it's a children's author, a child author, or an adult? So you answered that. And
Yep, like
so,
I
you
said, keep
know,
going.
and I think a lot of times when people see author, the title author, they think of they think it's unreachable. It's an unreachable goal or unattainable goal. So thank you for sharing that, because that's the whole purpose of this platform, is to give, to inspire, to give hope to
Yeah.
people who just want to hear a good story, a good, nurturing, encouraging story, but also
Yeah.
to encourage people to write. Our stories
Yes.
are written for a purpose. Our stories are need to be heard. And so thank you for sharing that message. That was my final question before I get to my final. That was my pre-final question. So, Seal, did you have another question for Sharice before we give her information on where we can find her book?
Yes, I would love to know. So I know that you teach there in Vegas. Just like Texas, I'm sure that there's schools that or districts or areas where it's a little bit more challenging of a population, but to have, of course, a teacher, a mentor that they can connect with and that can see them through their successes in the classroom, I know is amazing. So my question for you, Sharice, is what did your kids, your students do when they found out you were a famous author?
Well, they don't know.
They don't know yet.
'Cause- well, because I'm currently teaching, like, virtually. So I teach on a platform
Mm,
called OutSchool, where I teach my own curriculum based extracurricular activities, so gymnastics,
okay.
cheerleading. So I'm not currently teaching for CCSD now,
Okay.
but I do have about 3 virtual readings to my old elementary school on Friday, which I'm excited about. And there's going to be a lot
Yay.
more virtual readings. And I've given the books to principals, and a lot of the teachers have purchased my books from there. Just the support has just been phenomenal, and just it's a blossom that I can't even explain. Like, the support has been wonderful, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to, I don't mind reading. And if COVID wasn't here, I would probably be at every boys and girls club,
Yeah.
every YMCA. I
That's
would be
right. Yeah.
everywhere to, make sure that I can reach at least one or two kids every place that I go. So as of now, this is my this is my second reading, but virtual reading. And now everybody on Facebook, whoever is watching, they know that I'm an official author and self-publisher.
And this is your second book, but
Yes.
before we get off the call, you have to tell us one. I see
Right.
the first book on your shirt, and that little girl is so cute. And in the
That's my
background, so
daughter.
let us. Hi, daughter.
Hey.
Let us know about your first book, because we also need to make sure we support and purchase that as well.
Well, my first self-published book is called Princess Heart Learn to Tumble. Both of these books will be series books. So there's series 1 books. This one teaches you how to tumble from home. Same message that I give in every book that I'm gonna write. It all has messages to encourage and motivate the child in those. So both of my books are now available on Amazon and a lot of platform, Barnes and Noble, Goodreads, but you can purchase them on Amazon or on my personal website, which was www.princessheartandpennyd.companysite.com. So
Yes.
that is where you can purchase both of the books, and I will ship them out.
Yeah, we'll definitely include
Awesome.
those links to your personal
Yes.
site, because I know a lot of people sometimes they want like personalized, or can you sign it? So we'll definitely make sure that
Yes.
we include your personal website
Yeah.
in the replay post as well. And I just want everyone to know, like, definitely support this beautiful author. She is such a sweet
Oh,
spirit.
Yes.
thank you
I,
so much.
I just, yes, we have to support Sharice. So make sure that both Princess Heartland tumbles
Princess Heart Learns to Tumble.
learns to tumble,
Loves
and then
them.
Penny
Okay.
D's
Yeah.
first game will include both of those in the replay as well. So Val, you can close us out in true
Lucille
great
and Val,
style.
thank you guys again so much for this amazing
Oh,
opportunity and
sure.
for choosing me to be a part of your wonderful podcast. And I'm really excited, and I'm going to continue to follow you guys and continue to support you guys. And I can't wait to see whoever's the next wonderful author that's going to be on your podcast. So I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you guys so much for choosing me to be a part of this. It's been
Absolutely.
amazing. I've enjoyed it so much.
It definitely
Well,
has, and we'll have you on again to read your first book, because I'm very intrigued and very intrigued for that first book. So you'll see Sharice again. So no worries. I know you guys have fallen in love with this author just like we have. So we'll
Oh,
definitely have her
thank
back.
you
So
guys.
yes,
so Sharice, thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you for giving us your book, Penny D's First Basketball Game, and we look forward to hearing your first book. And we know you're gonna come back and do that soon. But I would just like to say, I sat and I listened to you read your book, and I noticed not only was it sports centered, but it was also encouraging and motivating, not only to children but to adults as well. So we appreciate you being here. We thank you for the encouraging words, and thank you because it, like I said before, in the times that we're living in now, especially now, our children need to hear encouragement and hope, as well as the adults. Life
Yeah,
right now is not our norm, and had to get used to living life a whole different way. But
yeah,
it's authors like yourself who have come on our show and who have given not only our children hope, but you've also given adults that are watching, like myself and Seal, you've given us hope and encouragement to do even more. So we thank you for being here tonight with us. We
thank
look forward
you.
to everything that you're going to do. We look forward to seeing your books even flourish even more than they even have before. And we look forward to hearing your story of how your story has impacted those boys and girls that are focused on sports and the ones that are even not even focused on sports. So we look forward to hearing the positive results. We look forward to hearing all of the just the encouraging things that are going to come out of this session. So thanks again for being here. We appreciate you being on Storytime Chill with Val and Sia. And of course, you are special to me because you are in the LD. So hey.
Oh, thank you guys so much again. I appreciate
But we
it.
know you're gonna visit Houston soon, so we look forward to
I
seeing
will,
you.
and I'll be still
That
about.
part.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you guys so
Absolutely.
much again.
You're
We love
welcome.
to see this. We love to see this.
Yeah.
And again, just make sure that you follow and keep in contact with Sharice Williams. We'll also put her information, her social media handles, and her websites to support in the replay caption. So I hope that everyone has enjoyed this segment of Storytime Chill with Val and Seal. We love you. Good night, and keep pushing. We are midway through the week. Make it happen. Finish strong. Okay.
Yes.
Good night,
Okay.
everyone.
Yes.
Good night. Thank you guys
Bye.
again. Bye.
You're welcome. Our pleasure.